Welcome back to Worley Family Homestead. Well, it's turned off a little bit cooler here this weekend than it has been. We had a good shower of rain last night. Had a couple of storms actually roll through, which wasn't too bad. Had some pretty good winds come up, but luckily we didn't have any damage. But it sure cooled the temperature off a little bit. I bet it's probably 20 degrees cooler today than it was yesterday. And we got almost an inch of rain. So I'm hoping that rain is enough to get the millet to start growing, because I really need to turn the cows in on the millet field so they can start grazing out there so we can cut back on the hay. We're gonna kind of update you on Bella today. She's doing a lot better than she was. I think the shot's working and she's feeling a lot better. And hang around, because here in a little bit we're gonna ride over to Kim's mama's house and we're gonna show you how we make strawberry jelly. Got our strawberries from our neighbor next door, WDW Strawberries here. So if you ever want to learn how to make strawberry jelly, hang around with us and we'll kind of show you from start to finish the kind of ingredients that we use and kind of how we get it done.
Hey, Genevieve.
Hey, Genevieve. Well, we're going to update you on Otis while we're here too. He had a little adventure last week. He's 6 months old, and so he finally had his first visit to the veterinarian. And the trip he had wasn't one that he probably was looking forward to. But I tell you the truth, you can't really tell anything any different about him by just seeing him act and do like he normally does. But we went ahead and had Otis neutered. That way to keep him from doing things like old Tomcat to do, and he'll stay more around the barn. He won't start drifting off and wanting to visit with the neighbor's cats and that kind of thing. But old Otis has come through it like a champ. He's not mad at us. I thought he would be for a while, but he's just as laid back and as easygoing as he ever has been. So that's just kind of let you know what Otis has been up to lately.
Little George. And Elmo.
You ready to eat? You ready to eat? Are you ready to eat? Huh? Are you ready to eat? You gonna jump again? Come on. Come on. Yeah. You feeling better? Mm-hmm. 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 What kind of fit are you having? What kind of fit are you having?
Are you being silly? Are you being silly? Do you want to play some now? Yeah? Just a little? Just a little? Just a little bit? What are you doing? You're being silly.
Welcome back. Today we're going to try to show you how to make strawberry jelly the way that we do it. We're over here at Kim's mama's house today, and she's the one that shows us how to make it every year like we did last year. So we're going to try to show you all this year how we do it. Got our strawberries from our neighbor over there at WDW Strawberries, and they're good strawberries this year, and the season's just about to wind up, so we got some yesterday so we can do this today. So we're going to go ahead and show you how to make strawberry jelly. I'm going to let Kim do all the talking because I don't know how to do it, and most of her mama's going to show us how to do it anyway. So we're going to show you how we got started and go from there.
So first off, you're going to wash your strawberries, which I've already done that, and you're going to cut the stems off at the top. So you just cut the stems off and wash them about 2 or 3 times to make sure the dirt and the grits off of it. And then the next thing, you're going to put them in a pot with water, and you're going to let them cook down, because what you're going to make jelly with is the juice from the strawberries. So right now we've got them starting to cook, and I'll let you know how long it takes the process for them to cook. So while the strawberries are cooking, we're going to go ahead and wash our jars and our jar lids and our rings. These are jars I used last year. We got some half pint, and then we got some that's a pint jar. I like to use the smaller jars for jellies because you can eat it faster once you open them up and put them in the refrigerator. The main thing is wash them and get them sterilized. And you have a box of regular mouth lids, so they'll fit on half pints, they'll fit on the pints, and they'll also fit on the regular jars. And these are ball jar lids, and they're hard to find jar lids this year. I actually found these at Food Line. They actually had some, but I got the last 2 boxes. So this is your lid, and this is your band. And you just put it together, and it goes on top of the jar just like that. I like to use new jar lids each year because they seal properly. You can use the old jar lids, but sometimes they don't seal as good. But when you're making jelly, I like to make sure my stuff seals properly, so I use new lids. So while the strawberries was being cooking, we washed our jars and jar lids and fans, and they're over here drying while the strawberries is cooking. And the strawberries has been cooking about 20 minutes now. It's about time to take them up and drain the juice. Once they started boiling, we cut it down to medium heat and let them cook for 20 minutes. Throughout the 20 minutes, you'll have to keep them stirred so they won't stick to the pot, but other than that, it only takes about 20 minutes to cook the strawberries. So you can tell when you cook the strawberries, the juice is going to come out of the strawberries. See how the strawberry looks pale and they kind of look like slimy looking now? But once we take them off the stove and strain them, you'll get all the juice and the strawberries will be in a bag. Okay, so the next step what you're going to have to do is strain your juice from your strawberries. So you can use like any kind of cloth to strain it with. This is what I use, and my mom's always used. It's a country ham sack, what country hams come in. It works really good. You would pull your strawberries in it, and then the juice would drain in a pan, which I'll show you that in a few minutes. But this is what we use to drain our strawberries with.
Oh, it's slow now. Wait a minute. Okay, Andy, go to Dewey. Oh, it's slow. Please. Okay. It's hot now, Kim. It's hot.
Okay.
There we go. There. Now, Andy, we can. You want to?
So what we're doing now is we're just trying to drain as much juice out we can from what's left of the strawberries to get the extra juice. Okay, so once you drain the strawberries from the juice from the strawberries with the bag, and you can see now how much juice we have. We almost got a whole pan full of juice. Now we've got to measure and see how many cups of juice we have, so we can know how much sugar and sugar gel to put with it, because then you'll have to put it up there and start cooking it again. This is what we use, is sugar gel to make the jelly with, plus the juice, plus the sugar. And you can buy this at the grocery store or any local place, usually any grocery store. So the sugar gel is like a thickening agent, so your jellies will thicken and set. So in the box of sugar gel, once I open it up, you've got your sugar gel, and there also is a recipe that actually comes in the box that tells you how much juice and how much sugar and how many cups of juice to amount of sugar and how much sugar gel you'll need to put with your jellies. So we come up with 26 cups of strawberry juice. So now we've got to figure out how many packages of sugar gel and how many cups of sugar we have to have for 26 cups of strawberry juice. Okay, so we got the juice train, and we end up with 26 cups of juice. So for every 5.5 cups of juice, you'll need 1 box of sugar gel and 5 cups of sugar. So it takes 27.5 cups of sugar and 5 boxes of sugar gel. So this is what it's going to take to make what the batch we've making today. It's going to take 27.5 cups of sugar and 5 boxes of sugar gel with your 26 cups of juice. Okay, so the first thing we're going to add the sugar gel to the juice. So I'm going to pull the sugar gel in there. Once the sugar gel, once we add the sugar gel, we'll have to bring it up to a boil for about a minute, and then we'll add the sugar in there.
Keep it stirring so it won't stick to the bottom of the pot.
So how much you want me to put in there? Alright, now it's boiling, so now we're going to pull in the sugar.
It's a boiling. Boy, it's a little bit at a time.
So we're pulling a little bit of sugar at a time,
So
and
stir it.
Mama's keeping it stirred as I pull it in.
So it won't get lumpy, you know. Yeah. Yeah.
So now you got to keep it stirred until it starts boiling again. And then about a minute after it starts boiling,
And you can stir it down.
it should be ready to pull into jars. Okay, so once it starts boiling, we'll have to cut the heat down if it don't, it'll boil over. But as you're stirring, you can kind of raise your spoon up and see about the juice, how runny it is. Because once it starts sticking, that means it's going to be ready once after it starts boiling for a little bit. So it's been a minute, and you can tell if you pull your spoon up, see how it's dripping very slowly. It's starting to get thick. First thing we're going to do is skim off the top foamy stuff at the top.
Yeah.
So almost got all the foamy stuff off at the top, so you can see how pretty the jelly juice is. So before we're going to start pouring the jelly in the jars, I'm going to put some water in this basin, because we're actually going to set the jars in here so to keep the jars warm, because that's so hot. If you don't do that, then the jars might burst. So I'm pouring hot water in this basin. So you're going to get your juice. I got a cup of juice I'm going to pour in the jar. I'm going to get some more juice. I'm going to pour in the jar. And I fill it up about to where the ring's at. And I'll put this back in my other jar. The next one to be full. And the next step you go on is clean your jar off. wipe my jar off. And then I'm going to put my jar lid on. And band.
May do it when we get soon 2 or 3 hours.
Okay, so I'm going to take it off and dry the jars.
Me boogie faster.
And then I'm going to tighten the lid up. Okay. Okay, so our jellies is in the jars now, and we had 25 half pint of jars of strawberry jelly, and we've got 4 pints of strawberry jelly also. So, and the next step I'm going to do is wrap them up with this towel, so they will seal properly, and they'll seal quicker this way, and it keeps the heat in and not let cool air in. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to wrap them up and they're going to sit here overnight. In the morning they should be jelly should be made, so it should be ready to eat.